Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Card Craft. Thanks for joining me today. Thought today's tutorial we'd do a quick little folio, a loaded folio. Nice and quick and easy. Again, just out of a 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, double-sided, makes it so much easier, and it starts to get through the stash again still. So 3 little folds, like so, with a little book inside for more journaling, tags, etc., which I just realised I haven't finished off on my prototype. So nice and quick and easy. I've done a template for it to give you your sizing, which I will put up at the end and leave up so that you can screenshot it and make it from then. Any of your 12 by 12s will work on this, and I've just been starting to go through a pile of mine. Let's have a look. There's your template, but I'll show you properly at the end. So I've just cut one out. Again, I've just grabbed some 12 by 12 paper that I had sitting here, so you can see where it's been cut out from this one. And here we go. So your measurements for it, of course, which I'll show you with your template, are 2 1/4 inches by 3 1/2 inches next in, and then 3 inches. This is 5 1/2 inches, and then it's just a circle. Any circle will do, be it your double-sided tape, be it, I don't know, a little bowl, little circle bowl, be it a circle die. I've got a very old Fisker's shape system that they used to do that has lots of different size circles. So it's a matter of just sitting a circle in to get the height that you want. So like this was a 4-inch circle. If I sat that at the 2 1/4 line and then the 3 1/2 line, set it where it matches up and draw around. So that way you can make any size that you want for your top tab, which is this one. So you can see I've done a slightly larger one with this. Oh no, I haven't. I've used the same size circle. There you go. I thought I did a smaller circle for this one, for my initial one. This has been in the process for a couple of days. I've had a busy weekend, so I'm sorry I'm a day late with this. It should have gone up yesterday. It's now Monday here in Australia. We've got a public holiday, which has helped me dramatically for this weekend, but we'll very quickly go through it. So once you cut out your full shape, it's just a matter of scoring down these. Now you can put them in your scoreboard. I tend to be lazy, and I've marked my 3 inches from my end here up to my top corner. So if you don't have a scoreboard, you can always do this. Just gives it a slight crease line. Same with this side, down to my line down here, up to this one. And I just use my ruler to give me my crease lines in it. Then with my bone folder, I can fully crease it in place. So I'll make sure my edges are lined up. Going down, give it a good crease, which will make it nice and sturdy. Same with this side. Line these ones up. You can always trim them later on if they don't completely line up, and down. So in essence, that's all it is. From there, it's just a matter of, I'll just get rid of my little pencil marks. Now, as you know with mine, I've already inked around it so that you didn't have to see me ink. I like to just do a little bit of inking where the score lines are. I've run out of my walnut stone, so I'm just using ground espresso. So just on your score lines, to make your folded lines look a little bit older. And that's all it is that I'm doing. It just defines the score lines so that you can really see where they are. And I'll do the same on the inside, and you watch how different the insides then look, because this is a lighter fabric, I was going to say. Wrong craft. A lighter paper, so that what you get is that beautiful, it looks like it's been touched and worn and all the rest. So it just gives it that grubby look. I definitely like the grubby look. I'm not a clean crafter anyway. So, but it's up to you. If you don't want to ink, you don't have to ink. So now I've really defined my score lines. Set that aside. And I've got my little folder. Okay. It's a matter now of putting in all our bits and pieces. So my original one that I've done as a prototype, I've done as a music folio. So everything is music related. These are off, hang on a moment, I'll pull them out. They're a Prima from memory. Let's have a look. So I've used this stamp set here. And I've used a little bit of that one. I'll pull it back out. So it's just a little stamp set with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stamps in it. And I've split this one, which has given me this one, my end shot, yes. This one here. This little bit is just this section, so I've masked off this part of the stamp, and then I've masked off the other part to do in here. It's a matter of looking at your stamps in a different way and how many more ways you can get from it. This one I've actually stamped on patterned paper again, and I've stamped this one. So I've done music, and then I've used some coffee dyed music sheets here and here, and then in my little book I've used larger music sheets, again coffee dyed with normal paper. Now you will notice when I've sewn in here, I've sewn off my centre line just a little bit so that my papers don't open flat. But look, it's one of those things, I'm not overly concerned about it. I still get the look, and I could pretend this is what I wanted. So don't fret when it doesn't come out perfect. There is no such thing as perfect. It's for you, okay? Right, so with this one, we'll find another set. Let's make all our tags in bingo cards. So this is an old Kaiser set, so I'm going to use all these for my tags. And we'll use let's use parts of this one for on our actual pockets. So I'll move that one away, pop him away, so there's not quite so much mess on my desk. And I've got to face it, there is a lot of mess on my desk at the moment. So, sorry, I'll move him away. So if we're looking at this, we want pockets on this side to be about 2 3/4 inches. So we'll find a scrap of paper. Now, what I could do is use the rest of this. I've got lots of this left over, and I can use up the rest of the 12 by 12 sheet. So let's do that. I'll grab my trimmer over here, and I know that this is going to be big enough. So I know that that's already going to fill my 2 1/4. So if I make them about 2 1/2, and then I can trim them down from that, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. So if I set that into 2 1/2, it's 1, going into 2 1/2 again, 2, and we'll do these ones first. So I need to trim that bit and that bit. I like these sections in it. So I'm going to lose most of that, so I'll keep all that in there. So back down to 2 3/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4. Same with this one. I'll trim him that way. Okay. So these are going to be my little pockets. They can be a lot smaller, so I reckon for these ones, and again, I'll just go with my pencil. I won't actually make any marks. I want to leave a little bit of gap in between them. I'll go from about here and want to finish round about there. Now, I find that it's easier with my knife. You could put it back in your trimmer. You could cut it with your scissors if you want. It's up to you. So I'm just going to put my ruler where my pencil marks are. Find my knife, which is in amongst my mess. There's one of my pockets. Now my other one, I'll do the same size. So for that, I'll just put a pencil mark where that one finishes, where this one finishes, and do the same thing. I'd like my little ruler, but I'll have to clean up as I go, I think. So it's there and there, I think, is where my pencil marks were. Right, they should be around about the same size now. Yep, beautiful. Move that, move that. So we've got one down here and one up there. And then I can drop that and still give myself room for a tab in there. Simple as that. We'll just glue those straight down. I won't worry about inking. You've all seen me ink. You all know what I do with inking. If you want to ink, you can ink. If you don't, that's fine. So we won't worry about sitting there looking at me inking for hours. So put you there, and about there. So I've got an even amount on both sides. Grab my yucky cloth, which I meant to put a new one in. There's one. I'll go down here. Now their other side is a smaller side because it's a smaller tab. So we'll need to remark and measure those ones as well. And two. There we go. Right, so that side's done. We'll do some in this side and this side. This time they're going to go that way. So this time we only want about 2 inches. Tune that up. So we want 2 inches wide. And I'm going to put the lid back on that glue before it dries out. And we want, how high do we want them? Let's do them about the same height as those ones. So they're a bit over 2 in the end, which will make these square, won't it? Make it a little bit over 2. And we'll take it from there. I don't know if you can see that. So this time I'm just using my trimmer because I'm being lazy, but I actually want to take it the other way around, don't I? So about that. And then I'll need to mark and measure the other ones so that I've got them exactly the same. So a bit over 2 again. I like that end better. We'll turn him around. that to the side, and we're going to go the same as we did this one. So we know that it's right up there. And down here, we want to go to there. So this way I'm doing both ways, both with the trimmer or with the knife, so that you can see it can be done either way. I won't do it with the scissors. If you want to, you can do it with the scissors. I just know if I do it with the scissors, it's going to be way out of whack. So here's one. And here's two. So we'll stick those ones down. Going on all three sides just to make a pocket. Try and stick as close as you can to the edge. Otherwise you lose more and more pocket space. So that's centered so that I've got the same amount this side as the bottom. Sop up some of my extra glue that I can see is coming out, and do the same with this one. Right, because this is a darker paper, if I stamp on it, it's probably not going to be as much, which is why I'm sticking these down first. Normally, if I stamp, I will stamp before I've stuck my pockets down. So this time we might just add some stamped coffee dyed paper, and I've got some scraps left over from my last one that I just did. So here I've got some scraps just out of the A4 sheet that I used for the last one to make the little mini book, and we might stamp on it and tear it and all the rest. So we just want little bits, and I just want faded in bits. So I'm not using my stamping mat, I'm not going to use a block, I'm just going to stamp and pop a section down so that I can see. Well, actually, we could go in this colour. What about raisin? That might work, mightn't it? We'll see. We'll just do one and we'll see. If it doesn't work, we can go back to our normal browns. So I'm just going to stamp up some section on that because I'm going to tear around it anyway. Once it's dried, it shouldn't be too bad. Let's do a little bit more. Okay, between those I should get my little torn sections out that I want. I need to wait for that to dry because I've unplugged my heat gun to plug into my sewing machine. I've run out of power points. By the time I got my lamp and my radio, I only had a 3-gang extension cord, and so that's getting there. Right. It is also, because I haven't dried it, it's still a little bit smudgy. So let's just tear up here and around. We'll put this in one of the larger ones. Just a torn section. See if that fits in there. I'll do another little bit for in here, but I want a different section. I can always stamp some more if need be. Tear a little bit off the bottom so that the whole thing is torn all the way around. Go straight across there. That'll fit in there. I'll get all these sorted and then I can start sticking them down. And all I'm doing is just tearing little sections. In there. And I want one more bit. I haven't used that section in there. see where I want it. Across there. Tear that little section off. Right, very quick and easy. We'll glue those down, but this time we're going to just use our glue stick. So I'll grab my gluey old catalogue. Start up here and work my way down. How's that? I love my coffee dyed paper to stamp on. Gives me a not quite crisp edge with my stamping because I don't iron my paper. I just leave it to be as it is once it's either come out of the oven or air dried. And so it's got all those creases and all the rest. But if you're an ironer, by all means, iron them or flatten them under books. Again, I ran out of plain coffee dyed paper when I was doing this. So I very quickly just did up some with a brush and then chucked them in the oven to dry. So, and I must sit down and do some more at some stage. Just plain ones. I've got lots of doilies or music paper or book pages and all the rest that have then been coffee dyed. But I was running out of just plain coffee dyed paper, and I really need, because I use it for everything over and over and over. So I go through it like I eat it. Maybe I drink it. That's what I'm probably doing. I'm drinking the coffee. So, or just inhaling it anyway. And so I find that I'm forever running out. Right, that's those ones. We want one for our centre pocket. Just move that over to the side. So, going again to our scrap, getting rid of all the glue that I've now got sitting on there, where my glue rolled. So this time I really want to find my small ruler. There it is. That's what I'm after. It doesn't take up anywhere near as much room on my desk. And I'm going to just wipe that because I can see that ink is sitting there. Right, because it really doesn't dry that quickly, that ink. All right, so this one we need something about 3 1/4 inches, and I want to go up to about there. So let's go 2 1/2 to start with. So 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. So I'll go my 3 1/4. Move that to the side, down to 2 1/2. And here's my little one for in here, for my book. Now, if I wanted to, I could pop a thumb hole. I haven't with this one. I've gone a little bit higher with this one anyway. Because I've gone higher, let's put a thumb hole in it. Doesn't take much to put the thumb hole in it. Just a circle punch, round about even, somewhere around there. Sorry. So that'll give it just a little bit more look. And we'll stick that one down as a pocket. Probably should have put the lid on that before. There we go. It's running now. Not running wonderful. Put the lid back on as we go, Kylie. All right, and again, about the same height from the bottom so that it all lines up. Give it a squelch with my old rag. Right, so now we've got our area for our little book. Now our book can be made out of, I've got this still left in here. So I've done my book in the same paper as what I've used here, and then I've done my front covers in different ones. As you can see, I've stamped something different. So let's make our book. We should have enough left out of that. Let's have a look and see how that goes. Yep, I well and truly have enough left. I don't really want to do that side as I've done this one down here, but I do like that. Okay, so our finished book size, allowing for the size of our pocket. So if we go 2.5, it'll give us oodles of room. So we need a piece that's 5 inches by about 4.5. So 5 inches in width. For this one, I need to go that way. So 4.5 high. Again, if you're doing directional paper, you'll all know I have lovely fun with directional paper. By what did we say? 5. I'm just going to put that one. I'd rather that. Let's go that way, because I really want that at the start. I've got that and that. That looks better. Again, fold him over. You can score it on a scoreboard, or you can just pop it in. Use your bone folder straight down, and you've got the essence of the start of your little book, which will go in here once my glue has dried. Made him quite a lot smaller, but we can decorate this bit to give it a little bit of added difference, or if we want to, if we just start to ink around this one, and I know I promised I wasn't going to ink while you were watching. Again, into my actual, and I find if I've inked it, I can see where I'm sewing better. And that was my problem with my other one. I didn't ink the inside, and so I was running kind of blind. So if we turn this over and ink in here as well, and I've got that nice crease line, and I can see exactly where it is I'm inking. All right, so we can have this way. Ugh. Like so. Or we can have this way. I actually like it better that way, but in which case I need to put something on the front. But we're going the wrong way. All right, let's see what we can find and put on the front, just to make it a little bit different, and we'll go that way with that on the inside. So I go some coffee paper again, and we'll do, what will we do? Flowers? Let's have a look. I could do numerous ones of that one down it, couldn't I? Let's just try that. Sorry, I don't know what brand these ones all are. Sit you over there. And I'm actually going to tear this to size now. And then I know that I'm stamping off. To go down there. I love the smell of coffee dyed paper. All right. And up that one. Round about. Now we'll see where we need to trim it down to. Trim a little bit off that one. Like so. That gives enough of a difference in there. And then we'll re-stamp that along it. But I want a proper stamped image with this one. So we'll use a block, which I think I've got out somewhere. Must have, because sitting here. And I'll use my stamping mat. Do I want to continue in that colour, or do I want to pop it back into the brown? I like that, but I'm not overly keen with it because it is not the same as that. Let's just go with sepia. Can't go wrong with a sepia, can we? Okay. So we're just going to stamp and shadow stamp for this one. So we'll pop an image and then we'll shadow stamp just very lightly. Ink it up again. So now all I'm doing is using the remaining ink that's sitting on there just as a shadow stamp over it. Like so. So I've given myself a patterned paper, just using the one stamp. Got ink all over me. We'll go from there. Alright, so I'll very quickly just go around that to highlight the edges again. So the ink I just used then was a Ranger Archival in sepia. But as it shows, you can get different amounts of colour in with that one. So back to the glue stick. Down. Make sure you get your edges. The middle bits, yeah, but not as drastic as making sure that you get your edges. Putting that on the front of our book. Like so. What did I do with my little store card? Just to squeegee it all out. Right. So now what we've made, yeah, that looks better. I'm happier with that. And I should have stuck with the sepia on those. You know, when in doubt, just stick with your normal. It's nice to play around every now and again, but otherwise it's nice just to go normal. Right, so I want something on that. And I still have a little bit left on those ones from original. And I'll stick with the raisin now because it matches my other pockets. Still take a little bit more off that. That'll fit. Even that one up just a tad. That wasn't very good even. There we go. Right, we'll do that one. Find a bit that's not gluey. Going up the right way. I might stick it up just a little bit. All right. There's that. Apart from our pages in our book, we'll come back to that. We'll get the front started now. So we've just got that. As I like this, we might do this sort of thing on the front here. You're a bit too small. So, where else have I got that? Coffee dyed. Right, what I'm going to do, that's my piece of coffee dyed paper that I've put aside for my little book. I'll cut those first so that I've got them, and then I can utilise the rest on the front of that. Make sense? Okay. So, our coffee dyed book. Our pages need to be around about 4.5 by 4. Okay, so I've taken, you know, I've gone down so that my ruler starts about here, finishes about there, so that I know I've got an even gap, top and bottom. So 4 by 4.5. So as this is just a normal A4 copy piece, which is about 8.5 by 11. So if I go up my, what did I say, 4.5? 4.5 by 4. If I do my 4.5 this way, and then trim this piece into 2 pieces at 4 inches. Oh, look at that. It just fitted in. So there's those ones, and we'll do one more. And I can't remember what size it was going around, was it? It was 4 in height. Ooh. So what did I want for the front? Round about what height? About 5. So what I'm actually going to do is trim that one at 5. Right, 4.5 by 4. Take this at the 4.5. Let's go 4.5 and not 4 and 4. 4 3/4 and by 4. And I will use all these little bits all the time. Right, so 3 pages might do it. Set those aside for that one. And what I want now, so I've got those sitting there. I know that they're all safe and we shouldn't lose them. Yeah, right. Right, so now I want a piece to fit this one. That way. Tear a little bit off there. That's given me my height. Go down the sides. Ugh. Now some tear beautifully and some don't. And I've got a broken nail at the moment, and it's about to go, and it's right down onto the skin. So, and I'm just trying to hold it out for as long as I possibly can. 1, so it'll grow a little bit, yeah, right. And 2, so that I'm still able to do something, and it's just killing me, and I keep catching it. It'll be gone by tomorrow. I'll go back to work, and I'll break it in the first half hour. I know I will, but I'm just trying to get through all these, because when I have no nail, like here, you might as well just chop my hands off. I cannot do anything. I can't lift up double-sided tape. I can't lift up my paper. Right. I'm going to take a little bit more off that, just so I can see a bit of that red, like so. So this one's turned more or less into a flower one. Flower and postcodes. Yeah, they match, don't they? Not. So we might continue that flower theme on the front of this. So what I might do is do some shadow stamping in a script in there. I've actually got a 49 and Market stamp that if I do as a shadow one, will work a treat. Where is it? There. Right. I don't know if you can see that. It is a beautiful image, and it's got this wonderful plant going up, which will fit on there. Lovely. Right. And I think I actually want it on a block. Do I want it on a block? Do I want it a bit pale? We might just do it a bit pale, actually. So sepia again. But I'm going to put my stamping mat under it, and I'll need a piece of scrap. Need a piece of scrap. There's a piece of scrap, just so I don't stamp all over my stamping block. Right, and I want that side of it. So I don't necessarily want the butterfly, but I do want part of that plant. Right. It's harder when you're not working on a block, but I'm on a mat. Yep. So I want that bit just there. So if I give him pushes in different areas, I'll have thicker areas and thinner areas, if that makes sense. Yeah, like that. So if I'd used a block, as in my normal acrylic block, I would have got a solid image. Everything would have been the same, what's the word I want? You would have been able to see it all the same. Whereas if I've used it just on its piece of acetate that's sitting there, it doesn't give it the same amount of pressure. So I can push in different areas and it gives me a faded out look, like so. So I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, that works a treat. If I go into flowers, florals, let's have a look at florals. Tabs, butterflies, florals, like that. Put the lid on that ink before I lean into it. And I wonder why I'm always in so much of a mess. See what colour-wise we have in these. These are these very bright botanicals at the top. So, let's go paler. Let's have a look. Don't want to go black and white. Might be some Timmy ones in there. Getting down to the dregs down the bottom. Sorry, was that my hair? That's because I'm... Nope. That's because I'm trying to get closer and look. So, I just want something down there. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves, so it won't be a moment. Maybe I can fade down one of these. I really don't like the colour of these, but if I sand them down, I might, and I've got some gesso there. I could put some gesso on it to fade them down a little bit more. I'd really like some irises, but I don't think of... Oh, here we go. I'd need to put something else under that, wouldn't I? I really don't like the colour. So, let's just have a look. I've got to go through and actually deal with all these, I think, so that I can just do a quick grab. All right. Let's just see what we can come up with this one. So as you can see, it's blues, it's the wrong colours, and it's shiny and all the rest. So if I grab my sanding block, which is here, all right, just give it a scuff up, which will take some of the colour and the sheen from it and pale it down. Is that a word? And what it'll mean is my distress inks will then go over it. So I'm taking off a lot of that sheen, a lot of the brightness, and I want to grunge it up just a little bit, or a lot, because it really doesn't work with the colours that I'm working on at the moment. Let's head down those, grunge it right up as though it's been sitting around for ages. All right. Gotta watch that time. I have no idea what time I started. Sorry, girls. You'd think by now I'd start to look at that, wouldn't you? Right. So I want my stamping mat again. A scrap. And I'm going to go over it with the sepia. And I'm going to use vintage. Might have one here. That'll save me even doing that, won't it? I'm going to use a very pale shadow stamped script. So this is just a Stamperia set. Got to admit, hardly used this, but I use this script all the time. As you can see, it's got fingerprints all over it. Whether it'll even stick to my block. No, must clean that. All right, so we'll use it this way. So what I want to do is grab another little bit of scrap. Get rid of my excess. And then shadow stamp onto it. So that you can just see it coming through. So if I lift that up, and you see the image and the scratches and all the rest on there. I'm just going to use the excess ink that I've got on my stamp just to go around all that. Now this is still that permanent ink, works better on these glossy surfaces. So I'm just using my actual stamp just to grunge up this image again. And let's face it, I've already got all that ink all over my stamp. And what I've done is grunged it all up so that it's a better fit for me. I have added another colour into this little book, this little folio, but that's fine. Right, put that back over there to clean later on. Now if I put some cheesecloth under that as well, in that one, I'll just grab a little bit out, which will just give it a little bit of extra sitting in there behind it. Just chop off a little piece, tuck you back in there, and right, stick this one on so it doesn't keep moving on me. That's what I want. Problem we all get is that we second guess ourselves so much. Oh no, it's not perfect. Oh no, I don't think that'll work. Just do it. It is only paper. How about we go up the right way? It's just paper. You'd be surprised what will come out sometimes. And you never know. You may just love it. Give it a chance. You can always re-stamp. You can always re-glue. It is only paper. I want that. Which still gives me my little bit going on. Can't see my faded areas as much, but that's fine. They're just still in there. So I will need my Helmar 450, which is my fabric glue, and I'm going to lift that up like that so that I can see where this is, and put my glue on that. And then I can stick the whole thing as one. My little botanical will then hold my cheesecloth in place. If I can leave it there to start with. Oh, it's like hot glue gun glue. It's stringy, but it just works a treat for sticking all these down, and hard embellishments and things like that. So, all right. Get that off my fingers. Now that's all in one piece. And I can stick that in there. And I'll do that glue up because you can see it leaks and carries on. Right. So, a little bit on this side. Got a bit going on this side. Do we keep that blue going? Just need a very quick something on there. What have I got left over in these? I prefer it to go that way. I've got to finish making that little book. Let's make that little book for you because I think I'm running out of time. All right, so I've only got 3 pages in there. You can add extra pages if you want. So I've just put the 3 of them together and I'll fold them all over as one. I don't mind if they're all slightly skew with. For me, it just gives that added flick through look. So, you know, you can see where you can flick through them. Now, I want paper clip. Set that in there. Set that in there, and I'll just clip that a little bit so that hopefully this time I am right on the edge. All right, so I'm just going to turn around. Promise I'm not leaving. Just turning around. My sewing machine is right to my side, and I'm just going to run that through. It is on a larger stitch, but it's just on a straight stitch. And I'll just very quickly run down that, like so. So for my machine, it's on like a 5, I think. I need a pair of scissors, that'll do. All right, see, I'm back. Look at that. Oh, and this one, see, dead on. Woohoo! I tie mine. That's just me. I come from a sewing background many years ago, and so it's just me. My machine does a locking stitch, but I don't like the look on the back. So when I'm working with paper, which is all I use my sewing machine for these days, I will tie them. Where are my normal little scissors? Right here. So I'll just pull through one side so that both my threads are there, and I tend to tie them on the inside. That's just personal preference. It's up to you if you're tying them or whether you're tying them whichever way. And I should have just done a locking one there, but that's fine. Right. Pulling that out. So there's my little book. And you can decorate that as much or as little as you like. I love little ones with little books in them. So we've got that. You can put a little bit of lace. I did these this size so that they would fit my journals, the journals that I use. So as you know by now, I do slightly smaller journals. Ow. So I'll go to a blank page in here somewhere. Here. So for me, this sort of thing, what I would have would be a little pocket down like so. And then this will fit in my little pocket so that I've got just a little bit sitting out at the top. That's why they're this size, so that I have a gap either side, and I could either do this as a belly band if I want, or as an actual pocket, and I plan to do it as an actual pocket. But, you know, just because mine are this size, you can rearrange all your sizes. I'm fairly certain I'm getting close to an hour. So you can see what we're doing with this now anyway. And it's literally just a matter of putting something else on there. With this one, again, I just stamped onto a piece of patterned paper, made it into a pocket, and popped a tag in there. I've cut tags for each of these, and these ones are just little tiny tags. They're actually a tag that I've cut off. So, and done with double-sided paper again, which was actually the same paper that I've used on that, but it had a plain colour on the other side so that they could still be journaled on. So with this one, of course, you know, it's a matter of doing your tags now and something on here. But I can see I'm running out of time. So I'll just sit that to the side. Now, if I put that about there, how's that? Going there. Right. So we've got 2 1/4 inches from here to here, 3 1/2 inches, and 3 inches. From here to here is 5 1/2 inches, and then just a circle of your choice. But I'll just sit that there for you. If you want to do a screenshot, feel free. And then you've got the template. Then you can just cut your template out or print it out on something like that and tuck it in your ideas book. I have an A4 display folder so that whenever I'm working on them, so you can see, there's my original one when I was playing with. I've only actually done this 2 inches, and I went, yeah, I need a little bit more once I'd folded it over because it really sat in the middle of that. So I've written on there that I want 2 1/4, so you can see that it was slightly smaller. So it's just a matter of playing around. That gives you your basic shape, shows you how to go about that, and then it's just a matter of filling in. We've all got that, haven't we? Sorry, my hands have been all over it anyway. Filling in and making all your tabs and your pockets. Okay? I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope it hasn't been too long. I really should have checked what time. I just get too excited. Sorry. Happy crafting with this one. Do your template, sit it aside. It's there for when you've got no mojo or whatever else. So glad you're all along for the journey. And until next time, as I said before, happy crafting. Thanks, guys. Bye.